Hello, everybody, and welcome back to No Reset Speedrun. It is I, King Dirtle. We're going to bring you some fantastic content today. So we have with me today Gatorbox. How are you doing today?
I am doing pretty good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic myself. So, can you tell us a little bit about this game that we're about to see? I tried to look up some stuff for it, and I just could not find anything on it.
It's a bit of an enigma. It is Yukkuri no Miyekuu, which is Japanese for the Peaceful Labyrinth. And it is a game that was released for the ill-fated Xbox Live Indie Games platform. So it's kind of a piece of lost media because there's no real way to access these games anymore because they were all delisted. And there's a bunch of weird Japanese games that were available on the service. And this is one of the ones that basically most indie games were $1 a piece. So when I heard that the service was being taken offline, I bought like a $20 points card, and I went through and I bought 20 indie games that I felt were worthy of hanging on to, and this was one of them. I just downloaded it. I don't read Japanese. I just downloaded a bunch of Japanese games to try them out, and this one was so bizarre that it just stuck with me. So I am the de facto world record holder of this game because it's largely inaccessible, but I basically have I'm the only person that's on the leaderboard for it.
Ah, okay. Okay. So once again, this game is called Yukkuri no Miyekuu, and it was on the Xbox 360, as Gatorbox was saying. No longer there, unfortunately. So, if you could sum it up in maybe a sentence or two, what is the objective of this game before we head into it?
So the objective, based upon the difficulty you pick, easy, medium, or hard, there's going to be a anime waifu for you to rescue. You're going to be put into a procedurally generated dungeon, and you have to defeat enemies to boost your skills. And the further you get in the dungeon, and the more enemies that you defeat, the more of the percentage of you have to get up to 100% to save the girl. And once you reach 100% completion, that's time. You go on a date with the girl. It's clean, I promise. There's nothing naughty about the game. You just get some weird CG pictures of the girl standing at various places, and that's the end of the game.
Alrighty. So whenever you're ready, just let us know, and we'll start the timer for you.
Okay.
And then we'll see what this game has in store for us today.
Okay, so here's easy, and like you get pictures of the girls off to the side, but we're going with easy mode because that's the marathon safest. So okay. We're gonna go ahead and start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Alrighty.
Here we are in the labyrinth. So we're already fighting some of the weird colored ghosts. They pop out at random. They're infinitely spawning. You see the red one just kind of came up out of nowhere. So depending on the color of the ghost you defeat, there's the ladder to the next level. Depending on the color of the ghost you defeat, you'll notice off to the right, I've got 4 different stats that I can upgrade. Green is total hit points. Red is how hard you punch with your fists. Blue is how fast you move, and yellow is like perception. So now you notice, since I've leveled up my perception, I've actually got a little mini map now. And the more times you level up perception, the bigger that mini map will get. So I've made sure to climb everywhere on the map to complete all of it. And if I open this is going to be a healing thing. So that's cold spaghetti. That's not worth a lot of healing points. I think one of the funniest things is how appetizing the food looks is relative to how much health you get. So cold spaghetti, not very good, not very delicious. So
now, do you think it's comparable to mom's spaghetti, or do you think it's a little worse?
I think it's probably a little worse than mom's spaghetti, actually, because at least mom's spaghetti hopefully has sauce on it.
All right,
This is
so we
just
see the beginning of the end for the first level, CCA. Good job.
yes. So unfortunately, some of those rated. Oh, that started was right next to the ending. That's cool, or the exit. So unfortunately, some of the letter grades you can't really help. So some of the letter grades are based upon what level you complete. So that's not going to go up until you reach further levels. But you'll get graded on map completion and total enemies killed as well. So it's important that I run around each map and try to cover as much of the non-green section as I can. That way I get the biggest. I get the most points for it after the level's over. So there's 2 treasure chests in each stage. Normally, I would play with an empty friends list because if you play with a friends list, the game gives you a second item that gives you more time. And normally, I play it without the time bonuses because the time bonuses are random. And if you don't have any friends on your Xbox playlist or game on your gamer tag, then you obviously won't receive those bonuses. So I feel like it's a little unfair, but it's all randomized.
Okay. We actually have somebody in chat that has seen this game before. Emporio.
This is Emporio. Yes, he is actually from the Gatorbox community.
Oh,
He
okay.
is. Hello, Emporio. He has seen me do some speed runs of this. So now that we're almost out of time, I've spent enough time on the stage. Now I'm going to go down to the next level. I basically spend as much time as I can on each stage, defeating as many enemies as I can to get the most percentage on this screen. So we're down to 77% captured with the girl. Some sardines and chili sauce there as the meal. That's worth more than the cold spaghetti.
Now, with this game, how many levels approximately are there?
Theoretically, you can go on forever. There's nothing stopping you from just running to the exit constantly and going to the next round. But every time you do that, the level gets one. So you start out in a 5x5 level. Every time you go down a level, it increases by 1. So the next level is going to be a 6x6 grid, and then it goes to 7x7, then it goes to 8x8. So the more you go down, the harder it's going to be to find the exit. So that's one thing to keep in mind is that if you just keep racing to the exit every single time and not defeat any enemies, it's going to be very hard to find the exit, especially if you don't have your perception leveled up and you don't have the large mini-map, so you can't see where you're going. The mini-map really helps whenever you're kind of out here in the middle of everything, because each of these levels are procedurally generated. So, the walls seem kind of random. That's because they literally are. So now we've got about a minute left to kill. So I'm going to...
Literally.
Yeah. So I'm gonna punch some more anime ghosts. I keep thinking that they look like some kind of a meme face from like 4chan or something.
Now, so if there was like an official speedrun category of this, what would be the difference between having just a straight to the finish route versus getting X amount of power-ups route, things of that nature?
Well, really, since the game can theoretically just continuously go on, there'd be no incentive to just constantly run to the exit. So really, I would say completion is based upon when you're able to save the girl.
Okay.
So see, that went down by about 24 points just from completing that one stage, and the game has stopped working. It literally just crashed on me.
Oh, that doesn't count as a reset, right?
Technically, I think it kind of does, but I plan for that. I plan for the game to potentially mess up.
Oh, okay. We'll count it as a soft start. How about that?
Soft reboot.
Yeah, soft reboot. Even though it's a pretty hard one.
I do find it interesting that this game is in Twitch's like category of games.
Yeah,
it is selectable. Okay, It was, in case the timer was paused. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's start. It ain't called no Game Crash Speedrun.
I immediately saw that and started laughing. Yeah, sometimes you just have problems with games, and sometimes you don't even have problems normally, but like when you start doing it in front of a large audience or something like that, that's when like Murphy's Law comes in.
Oh yeah, that's my that's never happened before moment. Happens at all speed runs. That's never happened before.
Trying to remember if there were any cases like that earlier today. Unfortunately, I didn't have a whole lot of time to watch all the runs. But the last run, It Takes Two, was a really interesting run where they made the ice part first try on it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen It Takes Two played. I haven't played it myself. It's one of those games I've been meaning to get into and try. I just, for whatever reason, I just haven't. So I'm kind of guarding the exit right now, kind of glancing back and forth, waiting for enemies to pop up. But the game's not being nice with enemy spawns. There are enemies in the maze. They're just on the other side of the maze.
You don't want to go too far because you don't have the perception.
Exactly. I don't want to stray too far from where I am. Okay, let's just go down. So they didn't throw any yellow enemies at me, which is my perception. So I didn't get to do that at all.
Oh, bad rating. I think you did pretty well.
There's the yellow guy.
Oh. So that little race car thingy that you picked up a little bit ago, what was that about?
That was actually somebody off of my friends list, and that gives me more time in the stage.
Oh, okay,
so that's one of the random drops. You get 2 random drops. You get a food and you get a timer.
Okay. That makes a little more sense. And the amount of chests that pop up in the game per level, is that randomized as well, or is there only like 4 or something like that?
There's only 2 per level, but their location is going to be randomized. Usually they don't just put them, like, you see how this exit's kind of tucked inside of a wall, where there's 3 walls around it. Usually whenever anything pops up like that, like a chest or whatever, it's going to be tucked into a corner, but sometimes the game will generate it and just put something right in the middle of the floor.
Okay, so it prefers the 3 walls, but they can do it just about anywhere.
Yeah, it prefers 3. It prefers 3 walls and corner spaces.
Okay. Well, there's another round down.
And a good rating.
Better than bad, as I would say.
It's a new wall texture we have yet to see. Somewhere there's one that has like a little mandarin orange. A friend of mine who speaks Japanese told me it says mandarin. Oh, there's the cold spaghetti again. That refills like no health.
Yeah, when you were doing that practice run before we went live, I saw that, and I looked it up and can confirm it does say mandarin orange.
Yeah.
Mikan.
That's what it says. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to start learning Japanese, but I've gotten a slow start on that.
Honestly, Japanese is a very hard language to learn.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I took 2 years of it in high school. I remember maybe 5 sentences. Oh man, you got a lot of time on this level compared to the other ones.
Yeah, when I picked up the timer power-up, it gave me quite a bit. I'm not sure what the timer is related to. I don't know if it's related to the person's gamer score or what, the person that you free from your friends list. Once again, all of the enemies are hiding from me. This is this level is very divided. So the enemies, they don't follow a set path or whatever, but they do have certain movement patterns that they tend to prefer. They like to hug walls. So when there's a lot of walls, sometimes they get confused.
Uh, oh,
and they'll just stay in one section.
so right now you're just checking your 3 spots to see where they're generating from, going from
Exactly.
there, running down the clock, and then getting as many power-ups as you want, right?
Exactly. I'm actually trying to get back around to the exit real quick.
No, I think this is probably a given, but the stars indicate the levels, and the blue bars are the progress bars, correct? For
Correct.
each of the levels?
Correct.
Okay.
So I'm close to upgrading my perception.
Now, with the blue power up, the speed, does that work with your hands as well, or just how fast you walk?
I believe it works with your hands. It does affect how fast you punch and your
Okay.
walk. So again, I'm watching my flank right here, waiting for someone to pop up, waiting for someone to mess around and find out.
So that's a nice, good way to put it.
Okay, I think I'm gonna run to the exit real quick because I'm not getting low on health. I've got about 2/3 or 2/5 of my health bar left. But I would like to take a gamble and get a health refill on this next stage.
Now, each level for the green ghosts, once you get the green bar up, approximately how much life do you gain for each of the levels?
It gives you 25 hit points each time you do that. And there we go. We got a nice complete meal, so you can see the red haze has kind of gone away.
Bam.
So I'm no longer at risk of dying. This is going to be a timer upgrade.
Oh. Say hello to one of your buddies there.
Yeah, a lot of these people. I mean, this is my buddy list from like college. So a lot of these people are not online anymore.
Understandable.
I've never seen them online.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing about Xbox Live and things like that nature. Like, you meet so many people back in the day, and they're all really cool to hang out with and play games with, but now you just don't see them anymore.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. I guess that's part of growing up, isn't it?
Yeah, people move on. You know, they go their separate ways. I'm still logging into my old account from college. You know, it's trying to think. I never really planned on getting an Xbox 360. I actually bought this used from a friend of mine who needed money for food when he was going to college. So I gave him I bought it from him and gave him $50 more than what he was asking for it, just to help him out. And then I had an Xbox 360. And the first game I bought, the first 2 games I bought Dead Rising, and I bought Full Auto. And both of those sold me on being an Xbox console owner because I loved both of those games so much.
Yeah, I was more of a Fable type guy, and Halo.
Halo. See, my brother was really good at Halo, like obscenely good. He could have played it like MLG if he wanted to. And I remember telling him, I'm like, if there's anything you need me to do to help you succeed, you know, to buy you a capture card, to help upgrade your computer, let me know so that you can make videos of your montages and stuff. People would watch that on YouTube, and he just liked to play the game, and I guess that's for the best.
Yeah, because then it gets a little more to like trying to worry more about the presence of your gameplay versus you actually playing the game.
Exactly. It kind of cuts into, you know, taking something that's fun for you, making it into like a job or like a career or something. That's my Japanese profile, so I could buy games from the Japanese marketplace like this. I'm on my own friends list. Yes, some delicious ramen with corn in it.
Oh, actually looks pretty good, not gonna lie.
It did look pretty good. I would eat it. Like that's funny for me. Is like whenever I play this game, I always find myself being like, is that health power up something that I would eat? Cold spaghetti, probably not. Not just straight spaghetti with no with not butter, with like no sauce, no nothing, no meat sauce. I'd be like, I don't know. That's a hard one for me. But you know that ramen with the corn in it and some chopsticks. Heck yeah, I'm gonna dig in.
Nothing like going from a struggle meal to a, an upgraded struggle meal, right?
Yeah. The broth looks good. The broth looks nice and savory. Yeah, we're getting some enemies here at the end.
Ooh, yeah, a lot of them.
Tentatively, time might be coming up. If not, it'll be after the next stage. Okay, let's exit.
Yeah, I won't let you worry about the timing too much. We'll just go with that. How about that?
Okay. Yeah, it looks like I did go slightly over estimate. I'm sorry. That's from the game crash.
Yeah, exactly.
The game spitting out enemies kind of inconsistently at me. Unfortunately, we didn't see the Mandarin wall texture.
Oh, I was looking forward to it too.
It's a cute little drawing of a little Mandarin orange.
Which was a little confusing because we both thought it was an apple.
Yeah, it looks like the apple from I Want to Be the Guy. That's what I thought it was for the longest time until somebody told me it says Mandarin. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, fun fact, folks. If I remember from way back in my Japanese class, apple in Japanese is Ringo. Kind of like Ringo Starr from the Beatles.
Ringo.
Yeah.
So much for learning Japanese being hard. I'm learning it right now while I'm doing speed runs. There we go. Some nice braised fish. Nice slice of braised fish.
Ooh.
That was almost a full heal right there.
That looked like a full meal. Yeah, we're looking for the slowpokes in chat. Anybody got the slowpokes?
Yeah, I kind of went over. I'm sorry, guys.
It was like what, I'm going to mess up this name, I'm sorry. Decampant said, it ain't called no game crash speedrun,
Yeah, we had a slight problem with the game crashing. The good news is we are going to hit time after this level. So we'll get to see our anime waifu. And like I said, it's clean. It's clean. Even though the game was rated... So Xbox Live indie games were independently rated by the community on a scale of 1 to 3 based on violence, mature content, and something else. So there was some other metric. And this game had a 3 for mature content, but it's not really explicit. And even if you beat the game on hard, it's not like she takes her clothes off or anything. It's just the enemies do more damage.
Oh,
yeah, I'm
good.
pretty
So
sure
it's
the third thing is nudity, is it not?
Nudity, I think maybe it is.
I'm actually really new to this whole indie game portion of Xbox. I didn't even know that they had these.
Yeah, that's why they wound up taking them down, is because they didn't do so hot. They were so poorly advertised. Microsoft just never really put the storefront out in front of everybody's faces. So a lot of indie games were doomed to just kind of fail. There were a lot of great gems, a lot of weird experimental games, and this is one of them. And it's a shame that I don't know how anyone can possibly play this anymore without being able to download it. Maybe there's a way, if you have like a modded Xbox or something, you can have access to it. But this is a fantastic game. And I think we're going to be at the end here. So let's see, we've completed the map. That's an A B for the level, an A for killing enemies, and time. So that's Take It Easy. And now we get to enjoy 5 pictures of our date with this beautiful anime waifu. Taking her to the train tracks, taking her to the scenic overlook with the rusty railing. It looks like it might give way. Taking her to this driveway. Taking her to the dock, to the boardwalk.
Kind of reminds me of the Bay Area. I'm from California, so these kind of look like different places I've been to.
I like how there's no cohesion. There we go. Her thumb's going through her clothing. So then it says game over, and you basically get different pictures, different scenarios with the girls on different difficulties. So that's Yukkuri no Miyekuu. Thank you so much for having me. I'm sorry for going a little bit over time. That game crash kind of came out of left field, but sometimes these games can get unpredictable. Like I said, these were indie games. They're made by one person usually, so sometimes they're a little rickety. And the game has crashed on me before. Like whenever I'm doing run attempts, I've had the game crash on me, and I'm just like, I was on good pace. And sometimes the game is just like, no, I'm not feeling it right now, man.
Hey, sometimes it happens.
You actually started the second time around 6:40, so you went 14:10 or something.
That's not bad. The game adjusts slightly whenever it adds in a time, like the time bonuses to it. The enemies are worth less points, and they can do more damage to you. So my personal best time, I believe, is like 8 minutes and change, and that's with no time bonuses whatsoever in the game. So that's not bad for having it with time bonuses.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for being here, Gatorbox, and thank you for showing us Yukkuri no Miyekuu.
Thank you very much for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Alrighty, and next up, we're going to be seeing gameplay of the game Jackal that came in 1988 on the NES with Micro Watts. So stay tuned for that.